Welcome to the Explainer. All right, so today we're diving into a really interesting concept called soul protection. We're going to look at what it is and, how it might just be the thing that explains that incredibly frustrating feeling of being stuck, even when you swear you're doing everything right. Let's get into it. So, let me just ask you, have you ever felt that? You are putting in all the work, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but you're just not seeing any results. It's like you're flooring the accelerator, you can hear the engine roaring, but the car just isn't moving. It is an absolutely maddening place to be. And this feeling, it is so common. You've done the therapy, you've filled journals, you've done the inner child work, you've set the firm boundaries, you've said all the affirmations in the mirror, and still, nothing really moves. The same old patterns just keep popping up, and that same fog just will not clear. It's enough to make you think, okay, what on earth is wrong with me?
But what if the problem isn't you? Seriously. The sources we're digging into today suggest that sometimes the block isn't coming from inside you at all. It might actually be an unseen external barrier, something that's operating on a whole different level.
Okay, this really gets to the core of it. Over on the left, you've got your internal world, right? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions. And doing that work is absolutely crucial. But on the right, we see what the sources call external interference. And this is the game changer. We're talking about things like energetic attachments, pieces of your soul being fragmented, or foreign energies in your field that honestly, all the mindset work in the world just can't touch.
So the main type of interference that gets mentioned is called dark force energy. And I know, that sounds super intense, but think of it this way. It's like static on a radio. It's just low-frequency energy that doesn't belong in your personal field. And when it's there, it can distort or drain your own light, creating this fuzzy, messy connection between you and your own source of clarity and power.
And here's what's really fascinating. This interference isn't always just random. The sources describe them as spiritual booby traps. They get activated the moment you really truly commit to your purpose. So the second you say yes to that bigger calling, you might be unknowingly setting off a tripwire that's pretty much designed to keep you stuck.
So, if that's the problem, then what in the world is the solution? Well, this brings us right to the main event, soul protection. And it's basically a two-part process that's all about clearing that path so you can finally get moving again.
The first part is soul protection itself, and you can think of this as a kind of energetic hygiene. It's simply the process of removing what doesn't belong. It's like cleaning out your garage for the very first time. You're just getting rid of all the junk that's been piling up for years so you can actually park your car in there. Now, the second part is just as crucial. It's called soul restoration. And this isn't about removing something. It's about bringing something back. It's the process of retrieving those lost or fragmented parts of your own soul energy that may be split off during tough times or trauma. It's all about restoring you to your whole natural, powerful state.
Okay, so this all sounds really interesting, right? But how do you know if it actually applies to you? How can you tell if this invisible interference might be what's going on in your own life? Well, the sources give us some pretty clear signs to look for.
So the key word here to pay attention to is unexplained. Like, are you constantly drained but your day wasn't even that hard? Are you stuck in a pattern you just cannot break no matter how hard you try? Are you having mood swings or anxiety that just doesn't feel like it belongs to you? Even feeling consistently heavy or just off in a part of your own home can be a major indicator.
The sources use this fantastic analogy, and it's perfect. Trying to push through this kind of interference is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You can slam on the gas, you can rev that engine, you can do all the mindset work you want, but you're not going anywhere because something is actively, physically holding you back.
Now, I know this might sound a little heavy, but the outcome of actually addressing it is incredibly empowering. See, this isn't about fighting some kind of darkness. It's about reclaiming your own light, your own power. And this is so important to hear. If you feel like your intuition or your creativity or your spiritual gifts have just gone quiet, they're not broken, they're not gone forever, they're just buried under all of that energetic static we talked about. They are still there, just waiting for the signal to get clear again. I love this quote from the source. Once that field is cleared, it's like finally opening the case to a beautiful instrument that you've owned this whole time. The potential, the music, it was always there. Now you can finally start to play.
And the benefits people report are profound. According to the source material, people who've done this kind of work see really tangible changes. We're not just talking an improved mood or a little more energy.
We're talking about a crystal clear intuition and a much, much stronger connection to why they're even here, their purpose. So we're going to end on this final, really powerful thought. If you feel stuck, maybe the question you need to ask yourself isn't, am I good enough or am I doing enough? Maybe the real question is there something on my path that needs to be cleared? Because your purpose is waiting, and it's worth having a clear path to walk on.